Hello and welcome to the second in our new series of words for the week, looking at the topic of God's restoring grace. Now, last week we started to explore how the words of David in Psalm 51, where David prays, "Lord, restore to me the joy of my salvation," might become true for us if we feel that we're falling away from the Lord. The second reason I want to explore with you today as to why we might do that, or reasons why we might fall out of close fellowship with the Lord, is laziness. Again, if we look at the story of Peter's denial of Jesus on the night before Jesus was crucified, we can see that shown quite clearly. You know, all of us can become lethargic and slack off in life and in faith. All of the good habits we may have built up over the years of praying, reading the Bible, of giving sacrificially, of looking out for the needs of others, spending time in silence and solitude, many other things beside. We just jettison them and we say, we don't want to become too legalistic. Or maybe we just say, I haven't got time for these things right now. When we do, we need to recognize this for the warning light it may be for us. Because in the next scene, we see happening to Peter what could happen to all of us. He just got tired. Jesus took Peter, James, and John, three of the disciples, into the Garden of Gethsemane and said, "Stay here and pray with me a while." This was the night that Jesus knew he was going to be arrested, and the next day he'd be executed. And he just said, "Will you be with me? Watch and pray." And so Jesus goes off on his own for a while to pray. And when he comes back, the disciples have fallen asleep. And he said, "Couldn't you just stay awake with me for 1 hour?" There's a principle here that tiredness, physical, as well as sometimes spiritual tiredness, can set ourselves up for a fall. It's often more difficult to do the right thing than it is to do the wrong thing. It's easy to do the wrong thing. It's often the easiest way out. But if you want to do the right thing in life, it takes energy and effort and a lot of stamina. Because you're trying to do the right thing all the time, you're going to get tired emotionally, physically, spiritually, in every area of your life. And if you don't know how to recharge yourself spiritually, if you don't know how to recharge yourself emotionally or physically, then fatigue will set in. And fatigue should always be a warning light that something's going wrong, that something's out of order. And when you're tired, spiritually, emotionally, physically, that's when you are vulnerable to temptation. Over the course of my pastoral ministry, I've spoken to a lot of Christians who've stumbled in their lives, and it always seems to be during a time of great stress when they were tired and ignoring the warning lights. They didn't know when to take time off. They didn't know when to double their efforts in prayer. They didn't know when they needed to devote themselves more to reading the scriptures. They set themselves up for a fall because they were fatigued, and fatigue lowers our defenses and it makes us vulnerable. In Matthew's Gospel, Jesus said, "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation." So keep your guard up, because when we start letting ourselves down in laziness, we're starting on the slippery slope to falling away. May God keep our spiritual vigour and our faith active and lively. And may we ground ourselves in a deep awareness not of having to be active with the Lord all the time, but letting him renew our strength as we wait on him. Amen.